What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Credit Plug channel. The Federal Reserve increased interest rates by 25 basis points. Now, I just wanted to talk about some of the implications of that. Now, what we're seeing right now is a tightening in the credit markets. So a lot of lenders are now requiring more documentation for personal loans, lines of credit, as well as business financing. The auto loan industry is also tightening because the higher prices of cars, the high interest rates, a lot of people are falling behind and their cars are getting repoed. I think they said something about 50,000 repos per day in America. Now, a couple observations I wanted to just make note of, and this is something I noticed recently, is that a lot of banks, a lot of credit unions are switching up. And what I mean by switching up is that they're changing the data points. So a lot of you guys know about PenFed, right? So PenFed has for the longest time pulled from Equifax, but what some of you guys have let me know, and I've actually gathered some additional data points. So it seems as though PenFed has actually switched from Equifax to Experian. And we also saw this with Citizens Bank. There's a couple other financial institutions that are switching from either TransUnion or Equifax over to Experian. Now, one of the reasons why a lot of banks and lenders are switching to Experian is because Experian is part of what's called the electronic consent-based Social Security verification. And so pretty much what's happening now is that Experian is pretty much looped in with the Social Security Administration. So they're doing Social Security verification for any institutions that are using Experian. So pretty much, let's say someone applies for financing from an institution that pulls Experian. Well, now Experian can cross-reference that applicant's name and Social Security number against the Social Security Administration's databases, right? So they can verify and confirm if that Social Security number actually belongs to the person who is applying for the financing. So basically, if you're applying to any bank that uses Experian, they're able to cross-reference your Social Security number through the Social Security Administration.
Now, what is the electronic consent-based verification service? The U.S. Social Security Administration launched their electronic consent-based verification service. The ECBSV is an electronic service that offers registered members such as banks the ability to confirm the Social Security number of their customers. Now, why is the ECBSV needed? The USA has been suffering from a pandemic of synthetic identity fraud. Synthetic fraud happens when fraudsters use a combination of real and fabricated information to create identities of people that don't exist. They then go on to use those identities to open accounts fraudulently. For the last several months, Experian has participated as the only credit bureau in the pilot of the electronic consent-based Social Security number verification. The ECBSV service combats synthetic identity fraud by comparing data provided electronically by approved financial institutions against the Social Security Administration's database in real time. This service helps financial institutions verify SSNs more efficiently and enables improved experiences for identifying legitimate or possibly synthetic identities applying for products.
Now, I believe Experian is becoming the credit reporting agency of choice with a lot of lenders, and it's probably one of the most utilized of the three. And we're seeing a lot of institutions now switching over to Experian. So pretty much, I just wanted to let you guys know that the banks are definitely switching up the data points. If you're watching any old videos, just take that with a grain of salt because a lot of information has changed. Lenders are switching up. So it's also important to be up to date with all the latest information, all the latest data points. And then another thing I wanted to point out too, in terms of how some of the banks are switching up, is the fact that now PenFed also requires tax returns when you're applying for a personal loan, right? So a lot of these lenders are asking for additional documentation, not just your credit score, not just your ID, right? They want to know what type of income you have. Lenders want to see documented and verifiable income before they feel comfortable with lending you money, especially in today's economic climate. Lenders are going to be focused on the most qualified borrowers. Anyways, that's all for today. Until next time, take it easy. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.